Guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles for another breakdown of Spice and Wolf 2024, the remake. This is episode number 3. Oddly enough, today's episode actually lines up with a topic I learned in university. For me, it was very interesting. For other people, I can see them not having as much invested interest, invested being the key word there, because today's episode is all about money. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys are, of course, looking out for the different videos going up, because there's currently free videos every week. I'm also going to have a couple of Iona videos going up because I've got some important personal news. I think the best way of sharing with you guys is going to be via Iona and doing some GeoGuesses, so that will go up at some point this week. I just need to find time to actually edit the videos. Let's get straight to it, because this week's episode was fantastic. I did feel a little bit sad for Holo because she actually realised that she would not be recognised. They've forgotten me, which I think is quite sad, because she used to be someone who was worshipped and everybody was big on making sure that they had this big festival to her every year. But as we've seen in the anime, the times are changing and we are slowly moving away from those ideas. And I think the growth of money, trading companies, the church, all of that is going to be the key when it comes to economy and this anime in particular. I think I saw a funny meme recently about I came for the wolf girl and I ended up leaving with a knowledge of finance, economy and investment. Maybe this anime is going to teach us all about making good investments. Now, the music at this point was really atmospheric. I love the vocals. I also loved as well that it's very medieval country. It's got all those flutes, those little panpipes, and they sound really good. The show is definitely dateable to a period which you throw your mind back and you know exactly what period we're kind of dealing with, which is really nice. I did find it quite interesting to see how many apples one of the silver coins would actually buy. Initially, I was like, oh, she's bought a lot. Maybe she just doesn't understand money. But of course, our girl is not stupid. I did actually feel a bit sad that Lawrence didn't even get to eat one apple, considering he was the financer. But I guess after Hollow's wheeling and dealing, I guess she's kind of paid her way, which I am very impressed with. Of course, with her age, actually being slightly older than she looks, of course she's going to have lunch tricks, because she would have learned from the people coming in and out of her village, which is something that I didn't even consider to why she would be quite good at wheeling and dealing. I did find it very interesting to see the haggling bit. So when Lawrence starts to haggle, which is nice, and you're like, oh, he's very savvy, impressed, the price has gone up a bit. But of course, make way for the most savviest, and that of course is Hollow. I did not realise she would be so good at wheeling and dealing, because of course, as she says, I've learnt from one guy who came in town, and I picked up on some good techniques from him, and I didn't just learn it overnight. So I think that was quite nice, the fact that she didn't just learn these tricks out of nowhere. They have come from somewhere, and it makes sense, because if you've been hanging around long enough, especially with a place where they would be trading in the little village their own wares, you're gonna have those skills stacked up. I was very impressed with her. I was a little concerned though with her being, oh, they smell like apples, blah blah blah, but the apples were only really on top. Only the top ones are going to smell like apple. I'm a little bit concerned that they're going to draw bad attention to themselves. I was a bit worried that they're going to have a target on their backs. I don't know if that smell is going to wear off, and eventually the guy's going to be like, wait, have you just duped me? But as Holo says, if they're good people and knowledgeable, they'll be actually impressed that they were haggled. As she said, if you want to last long in the game, you're impressed if you are haggled, if you are upped out of the price. Hopefully they're actually good sports. They don't want revenge or anything. So the trade with the guy, I think his name's like Lirin or something, I'm still sus, but according to the end bit, maybe I don't have a reason to be sus, because it's not as you think it is. Because from what I got from him initially was the idea of debasement. It's not quite debasement. So debasement in the UK and in Europe, when I think it was Spain had all of that rare metal coming through from their plunders, they started to flood the coins with the metals, and then other countries' coinage actually, was it skyrocketed or did it fall out in place? Because technically, I think with the abundance of a coin, so with Spain, they printed so many coins, it ended up being lowering the value. This is very, very clever stuff, and the fact that an anime is making me think back. What people started to also do, they would actually clip some of the silver coins. Here's a coin, I'm paying you with it, but I've taken a chunk out of it, so the coin you've got isn't worth as much, and I'm going to take these clippings, melt them down and make another coin. Of course it is illegal, and I think they'd have their fingers cut off or thrown into a debtor's prison or a prison of sorts. Another one, I guess a good example would be Germany. Hyperinflation, where you print a lot of money, suddenly it becomes absolutely worthless. Price of money can vary hour to hour, especially on the idea of trust being key on this one. I think it was during the Queen's death, the price of the pound, I think it went the other way, actually fell because trust in the new monarch was low, because again, you've got a new monarch coming through. people's trust in the money suddenly goes down. And I think people sell those stocks, so the pound's value will go down. I'm not great at this, and that's my basic understanding of how a currency will float, literally, because our boy does go through it and he tells us about different currencies. I also really enjoyed looking at the currencies because you can see the different heads. You can see some of them lined up with having the same pictures at the back, but all had different heads on it, which I think is really, really cool. I actually had a tutor during uni who studied the history of banking and money. It is a fascinating topic because technically all money is worthless. It has a perceived value. It's a bit of paper. So we all have these bits of paper with the word £5 printed on it. You believe that your money is £5. You then go and exchange it. Somebody then takes that and gives you £5 worth of perceived goods. Money is all about a vested trust. And that is what I think the anime is getting at. If people start losing faith in, say, silver, the worth of silver, the price of silver suddenly plummets because people don't want silver anymore. They're going to go and want a different form of currency. The idea of currency in the anime is very impressive, and I'm very impressed. It did make me think back to those examples and hyperinflation, why people start losing faith in cash. I guess another one will be cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency doesn't exist, but you presume you have one crypto coin or however it works, and that has a perceived value. This anime is super clever and I'm very impressed. Was not expecting to walk out going, damn, I've now just got a new look at the idea of currency and economics, but I do. I love the line that the world is full of idiots, because it is. And one thing that has stayed a staple throughout all of history is stupidity. And I love that because the world is full of idiots and we can keep repeating history over and over. But one thing that does remain the same is people are stupid. Me included. I've made some very dumb decisions recently. But I do like seeing Lawrence getting a wee bit jealous when his girl is being flirted with by a womanizer who was very, very smooth indeed, giving her all of the cash. Initially, we did think that he was being lied to, but the money's going down. So as I said, the money's actually going down as opposed to rising. So the idea was that he thinks Lawrence is going to make a killing because he thinks that the silver's going up when the silver's actually going down. So I'm not 100% what he learned at the end when he's like, we must go to the trading company right away. But I'm curious if he's going to invest the money he's got. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the case that I'm thinking of, that people have to have trust in a coin. Because if you have a currency that has, let's say, 20% silver in it, and people suddenly have a full trust in this company, and we see that the country's doing well, and depending on what country is doing well, that currency is going to be stronger. Maybe it's the case that the currency that belongs to is actually going to suddenly get a trust boost. So it doesn't matter if it's got 20% or it's losing silver. The trust in that coin is the same. So it doesn't actually mean that anyone's losing out, and maybe he will actually benefit because the guy, as Hollow says, only gains, he won't lose. So if he gives the money back and it's actually less, he's not losing anything because that money means nothing. He needs to gain. So the guy actually trusts that he's going to gain on this. So that's what I got from the episode. I thought it was very, very good. It was a mind bender. I can see some people not having too much interest in the money aspect, but you've actually found somebody who has got quite the interest in the idea of currencies. For me, today's episode was very interesting. It ties right back into my uni days. Very exciting, but it was a great episode. Nice and chill once again. Hopefully we're going to get some cogs starting to move with the idea of this currency, and maybe there's going to be a big wheeling and dealing next. Really great episode. Can't wait to see where it goes. Make sure you guys tune in for the other reviews, and of course, hopefully when I get my butt moving, I'm going to have the Iona video go out where I have got some news to share with you guys. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys again soon for another video. Bye guys.